Hey YouTube, today we're going to be doing a video on the Polish PPS43C pistol. So, the Polish PPS43 pistol is based on the PPS43 pistol at Pulimet Sudejew, 1943. This pistol was made on surplus Polish kits from the PPS4352, as Poland adopted the PPS4352 in 1952. So these are not World War II parts. They are post-World War II Polish production parts. So basically how this whole thing came into existence was the Soviet Union had the PPD-40 and the PPSH-41, and they were inexpensive to make, but they weren't inexpensive enough. So during the siege of Leningrad, Alexei Sudejew worked out a design, 1942. Alexei Sudejew worked out a design, and they started producing them in the city of Leningrad while it was under siege from the Germans. Field trials were done directly in combat. It was very crude, very fast production, very off the cuff. The submachine gun they produced was the PPS-42, and then it was later revised in the following year to the PPS-43 to make it slightly more inexpensive to produce. So what this is a gun built on a Polish parts kit in Poland, and it was imported. I think all of these were imported by IO Inc. Like IO Inc. Yeah, they got some shoddy craftsmanship, but thank God they were just the importers for these. They didn't actually have a hand in making these. But to be fair, it's a straight blowback gun, so it's like it wouldn't exactly be easy to screw that up. Basically, all they had to do, all Pioneer Arms did were grab parts kits and bend new receivers and just make fire control groups. And the conversion they did with these was not all that difficult. So we're going to go into this. So the PPS-43, the PPS-43C, PPS-4352, all that, the whole family of these guns, they feed from a double stack, double feed 35 round box magazine. This is quite like a British Sterling submachine gun magazine. However, this came before the Sterling. This is widely believed to be probably one of the best submachine gun magazines of the war. And believe it or not, for how crude and inexpensive these guns were to produce, a lot of people would consider these the best submachine guns of World War II. And I will... Either this or the Italian M1938. I mean, it's both of those are extremely nice submachine guns. Extremely usable submachine guns. Like fit and finish on this is but just as far as a utilitarian go to work tool, I'm not going to complain. The original guns were chambered in 7.62 by 25 Tokarev. That cartridge. Out of this 10-inch barrel, 85-gram bullet is doing about 1,600 feet per second. This cartridge is caught on quite a bit in surplus firearms world because, the whole, it goes through body armor, which, depending on the ammo, may or may not be true. Also, there are pistols, traditional type pistols chambered in that cartridge. That's a Yugoslavian M57 Tokarev. So, breaking down into this gun was designed as an open bolt, fully automatic only. To have this legally importable to the United States, it is a semi-auto closed bolt. So, basically going from muzzle to rear, we've got a bent sheet metal, basically a muzzle brake and compensator. It's also the front sight ears, the protection ears on it, or this is all one assembly. We have a screwed in front sight post, and it is elevation and windage adjustable. All of your sight adjustments on this gun are done at the muzzle. We've got a ventilated heat shield, essentially. You wouldn't really call it a handguard. It's open on the bottom, and there is a sling loop on the left side of the gun. It comes back to your trunnion. That's how the barrel's physically attached to the gun itself. You've got a magazine well with a lightning cut. You've got these ears around the magazine release. Magazine release is a little flat button right in here. Actually, quite a nice magazine release. Got a basic little tab for a charging handle, nothing special there. Safety selector. The safety selector in the forward position allows the firearm to fire. These are a little stiff, pretty much universally out of the box. Set to the rear position, the gun cannot fire, and it also blocks the bolt. This is important on an open bolt submachine gun, because if some guy had a loaded magazine but an empty chamber, theoretically, if you drop the gun on the rear, the bolt can travel back far enough to be able to strip around and fire without it actually catching on the sear. So that's a safety feature pretty much unique to open bolt submachine guns. Yeah, you don't want to keep an open bolt with a closed chamber, with an empty chamber, and not in a loaded magazine, because that's asking for trouble. Uzis and stuff like that have ways to make that safe, but that's neither here nor there. I forgot there was a lightning cut on the magazine. Well, not that that's going to reduce all that much weight, but it helps. Uses a Bakelite composite plastic something grip. It's like a early plastic material, but I think technically it's Bakelite. And then you've got a top folding stock. Now, this is a pistol. It is imported as a pistol, so this stock can physically not be swung out. Now, I have filed a Form 1 on this, and I'm waiting its approval. Once I get that Form 1 back and approved, I'll be doing a video on how to make this functional. But until then, still waiting on the Form 1 to be approved. It should be approved by probably early December. That's what I'm suspecting. The rear sight is a basic U-notch flip adjustable. 100 meters in that position, 200 meters in that position. And it's marked 10 and 20. Now, to field strip this, there's a button that does not actually appear to be a button. Press that, gun swings open. Now, it's not like an AR-15. This is riveted in the front. You cannot remove this, at least without drilling it out or whatever. Your bolt swings down and out. You got basically a recoil spring with a guide on it. You've got a fiber buffer in the back. You've got a segmented two-piece firing pin. It's actually kind of odd how they did that. Yeah, pretty much basic deal. If you notice here, you've got your extractor, but you have no ejector. If you pay attention, the guide rod itself acts as the ejector, which I thought was very, very clever. It's a very unique and simple way of doing it. Yeah, but that's essentially it. There's not much to it. It's hammer fired. If you look in here, there is in fact a little tiny, anemic little hammer. They really didn't have enough room to do this like super well, but I mean, hey, it goes bang every time. So, but it's just they had to really. That's a very stiff spring on this hammer, just because there's really no mass to the hammer itself. But hey, if it works, it works. I'll also mention some of these were imported with chambered in 9mm, and it's very cool because literally the only part that has to be swapped out to turn this into a 9mm is the barrel. And I don't know, like with the difficulty of finding this brass, because I reload everything, so it doesn't really come down to cost for me, but that brass is kind of a pain to get. I don't know, I might throw a 9mm barrel in this at some point. We'll see. Anyway, if you like this video, I'll also mention, when it chambered its 9mm, it still uses the same magazine. Yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. If you like this video, rate, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you want to see next. Yeah, I mean, go check out the AK is not a submachine gun video that was just posted, because that's going to anger some people. Looking forward to that. Alright, that's about it, guys.